Welcome to another Better FAQ video. This video is going to walk you through our process for doing wills and trusts or estate planning for our clients. Now, estate planning, quick primer on that. This is going to be how you plan to distribute your estate, your house and your bank accounts and your retirement accounts and your cars and jewelry and heirlooms and all the things to your next of kin, your kids, your other family members that survive you. Yes, I know, morbid, we're talking about your death, but this is an important thing to prepare for that, which it's inevitable. We all die. Sorry to break it to you. So with estate planning, we have a process that we like to think is pretty streamlined and makes the process pretty easy on you as the client, but it does require some effort from you and certainly some from us. Now, this is how the process will typically go when you work with us on your wills and your trusts. The first thing that we'll ask is for you to fill out a little bit long and pretty comprehensive questionnaire that gives us a general idea of what your estate looks like. This is going to ask things about what kind of bank accounts do you have? Do you have retirement accounts? Do you own a home or multiple homes? Do you have kids? Do you have pets? Do you have other things that are important to you that you want to make sure are taken care of in your absence? And we'll also ask a few questions about things like, what do you want to do if you have a medical emergency while you're alive and you might be incapacitated and unable to make decisions for your medical care or for your finances or for your business? Because keep in mind that with estate planning, you're also able to plan for the succession of your business or for the profits, the proceeds of that business to go into your estate planning documents for your children later. You can actually have your business owned by your revocable living trust, which is the thing that we set up for our clients most often. Now, we'll have other videos that tell you a little bit more about what that trust is, what a will is, what these things are, but this video is about the process. So, after that first questionnaire that helps us gather the general high-level information about your estate, the things you own and what you want to do with them, we will then send you some follow-up questionnaires with a proposal that gives you the estimates for the costs to draft a living will and a revocable living trust. Now, those are not the only two documents that we're going to give you. A lot of other documents go along with those two main documents. Things like your power of attorney, like I mentioned, for when you have a medical emergency. There's going to be another type of power of attorney that is specifically designed for financial affairs. There's going to be something called a pour-over will. That's something that helps with anything that doesn't make it into your trust otherwise. Check out our other videos for these specific instruments and details about what they are. But once we send you those additional questionnaires, those are going to be more specific. We're going to ask questions about those pets of yours. How many? How old? What do you want to happen to them? Who is going to be their owner, their guardian once you pass? Same thing with your children. How many? What are their ages? Who do you want to be the guardian if you pass away when they are minor? Things like, what are your retirement accounts? What are your bank accounts? What are your home addresses? What do you want to happen with all of these things? Do you want to give money to charity? These are all the questionnaires after that initial one that gather this information for us. And so you can see there's a little bit of legwork, a little bit of homework that you'll have to do, but we have a lot of explanations in our questionnaires, and they're actually pretty quick, even though there's going to be several of them. We'll also send you some infographics and some things that kind of help you understand each questionnaire. Now, once you've completed all those questionnaires, it's our turn to do the work. That point is when we then go and we create all these documents that I'm talking about for you. Your revocable living trust is typically going to be 40 plus pages. It's a big document. It is the thing that allows you to avoid probate, and that's why it's so important. Now, your living will and or your pour-over will, those are going to be the things that dictate who is the custodian or guardian of your children or your pets, as well as a few other things, and those are going to be the three main documents. But like I mentioned, you'll also get some other documents with it, like the powers of attorney. You will also have some things that are a little bit more practical, like funding instructions that explain how you take your bank accounts and your cars and your houses and your retirement accounts and how you then make sure that they work in line with these estate planning documents like your trust and your wills. There's also going to be a document called the portfolio inserts. That's going to be essentially like the tabs in a binder that separate all these different documents. And once we get to the end of the stages of working on this all with you, we will put those all together with those portfolio inserts and give you a digital packet of the entire thing, which then you will want to print and have notarized. Typically, there's going to be about 11 sections that need to be notarized overall in your paperwork. And then there's usually another 5 signatures as well. And so that's something to keep in mind. Typically, notaries cost 15 bucks a signature, so an added cost, unfortunately, but that notary makes the documents more official, which, if you're not here to tell people what the documents mean, or that you approved the documents or confirmed those documents are accurate, that's what the notary does. Now, let's go back. We send you the initial questionnaire. You fill that out. We get an idea of what you need as far as the additional questionnaires. We send you that estimate with the additional questionnaires. You fill those out. We start drafting. We give you all this paperwork. Typically what we do though is we start with a trust summary that gives you a summary of what went into your trust. High level, super easy for you to review. You give us your questions. We might make some changes to the actual paperwork, and then we give you all that paperwork, which, apologies, I know it's a lot of paperwork, but we need you to go through that, and we need you to ask us questions about what you see in there and make sure that you understand what you see in there. And so we always include some time to meet in person or go over it on the phone and explain things to you so that you at least understand it if you don't have any corrections that need to go into it. And then of course we will make all of those corrections for you. And then we will most likely send you all the paperwork again, make sure it all works, looks good this time. And if it does, that's when we put it into the portfolio inserts and give you that digital packet to become notarized and become official. And then you're good. You have all of your estate planning set up for the future. So this is the process that we would go through. We flat fee these projects for you, so don't worry about the back and forth, don't worry about the meeting, don't worry about asking us to make changes. You've already paid for it, or you'll pay for it at the end, depending on how we invoice it. And there's not going to be any additional charges because we have determined what the flat fees need to be for this. And so this is hopefully helpful for you to understand the process. Hope you're going to work with us soon. Thanks for tuning in.